Morning. Well, today I'm going to try to do a correct rinseless wash. I've got my DIY detail rinseless wash, and to make things simpler, I went to the drugstore and bought a 20 milliliter syringe for measuring. I know that in all the videos they show using a capful per gallon, because you're supposed to use 2 ounces per 1 ounce per 2 gallons, or half ounce per gallon. And I did some checking, and it turns out that at least on the 16 ounce bottles, this cap is only 7 milliliters. I did the conversion, and half an ounce is 15 milliliters. So I've done 2 rinseless washes on my car improperly because I was using half the amount of rinseless that I should have been doing. So today I've got my bucket, 2 gallons of water, 1 ounce of rinseless wash. I've got my Rag Company Ultra Safe sponge, very similar to the Legacy sponge, but I guess this is the grandpa of the Legacy. The Legacy came later. I've got a 2-gallon pump sprayer that I bought at the hardware store. It's filled up with 1 gallon of correctly diluted rinseless. I only use 1 gallon because that gives me more space in the bottle for compressed air, which allows me to spray longer. I think the sprayer was like $25 or $30 at the hardware store. The Schrader valve that goes on it, bring that in here. This Schrader valve is about $7 for 2. All you need is a 7/16 inch drill bit. Make a hole in the thing, put the Schrader valve in, and use your air compressor to air up the sprayer. Whole lot easier than trying to pump it up by hand, especially as the fluid level gets lower. I'm going to try to do some creative editing on this video, so that way you don't have to watch in real time. I mean, the rinseless takes me maybe 20 minutes to do on the car, but that's 20 minutes of your life you'd never get back. So I'll see if I can just make this video in sections, speed up the actual application of the rinseless, the contact wash, and the drying, so I don't take as much as your life from you as watching the full thing would. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out, pre-treat the car with the rinseless, pre-soak it, and then do the contact wash, and then finally dry it off. Now, I did go also out and buy at Walmart, I know, 2 twisted loop drying towels. I already have one from Griot's Garage. It's their PFM towel. But the only drawback to this towel is that it's huge. It's about 36 by 25. And it's a little unwieldy. So I bought a couple of smaller ones, 2 of them that are each about half the size of the PFM towel. And I'm hoping that that'll be a little bit easier to use, especially on the sides. The full-size towel that I have, when I do a rinseless, it's barely damp when I'm done, as compared to a traditional wash where it's really damp when I'm done. So I'm hoping that these 2 smaller towels will work just as effectively. Let me get set up, and I will start the pre-soak. Okay, pre-soak's all done. And now it's time to get on with the contact wash with the Ultra Safe sponge. Okay, what I'm going to do is a little bit different than my other two times. The other times I did the entire car and then dried it, and I did have an issue with it drying too fast. So what I'm going to do this time is I just did the top surfaces: hood, windshield, roof, back glass, trunk, and rear end. I'm going to go ahead and dry that. Then I'll do the driver's side, the passenger side, and the front end. Okay, there you have it. A complete wash. And I checked the timer on the video. About 20 minutes. Not quite 20 minutes. I only used about a half gallon of rinseless wash out of the sprayer. And I know it's cloudy. Looks like it's going to rain. I'm hoping it doesn't. But I'm going to do the wife's car next. And I've got to say that drying towel from Walmart, one towel, did fantastic. It's barely damp, and that, you know, you could actually probably say it's dry, but it did a fantastic job drying off the car. Even though it's extremely humid out, it was evaporating really fast. So it's a good thing I did break it up into 3 sections. Otherwise, it would have been dry by the time I got to it. But just in case, I'm prepared. I have a 32-ounce spray bottle filled with the correct dilution of rinseless. That's what I had to do last time. And if it's too dry, just take that spray bottle, re-wet the section, and then dry it. That'll take care of any water spotting, or not water spotting, but polymer spotting from the rinseless drying on the car. Adds maybe a couple of minutes, but not much. The only drawbacks to my homemade detailing keg is that because of the included safety valve on it, I can only pump it up to 40 psi before it starts leaking pressure out. But I checked the valve and I repressurized it during one of the pauses. I'd only used 20 psi out of the 40 that was in it to completely coat the entire car. I still had enough oomph left in the keg to coat it a second time if I'd wanted to, without refilling the air. I will try to leave a link to the Walmart drying towels in the description. I'm sure most of you already know where to get the DIY rinseless. The Ultra Safe sponge is from the Rag Company. Just go to the Rag Company website. If the Legacy is out of stock like it usually is, the Ultra Safe sponge is an acceptable alternative. But there's a couple of raindrops, so this car is getting moved into the garage. Thanks for watching.